Day number 6 of building out my social media management and content creation agency from zero to $10,000 a month. And this is day 6. Today is Monday, and we started off quite hot with a couple of leads, 5 leads to be exact. And then also some exciting news. We've got roughly generated 20 other leads for one specific client on Monday as well. So the week starts off great, which is very great. And the premise of this series is basically just to keep me accountable in making sure that I'm actually doing things that are growing the business every single day. The parameters are quite simple. I've only got 30 minutes each day to do recording, and then also I'm allowed minimal editing within the 30 minutes, and then also the idea is to move closer to that goal every single day. So today, with everything starting off, we started posting with our new client, which is very exciting. The first video is going live within 2 hours. It's one that we worked really hard on. And then also we've kind of compiled a temporary content calendar for them with content that we already have. And then hopefully tomorrow I'll start editing that content that I got from my Joburg-based videographer. And then also for this week, or before I get into this week, let me just stick to the structure here. And then for today was I was just checking, making sure everything is ready to go on Metrical, the platform that we use to do all of the posting, and all the posts are looking great. On the Kaap Creative side with the leads, it looks like some of the leads are okay leads, not the best leads. I sent them the packages, had a couple of conversations with them, and I'm not 100% convinced that they think we're going to be a good fit. So, not the best work, but I mean, it's all part of the process. So I had to complete an edit for a client for a film I shot at a hospital for a doctor, and then also completed my last 2 ceremony and speeches edits that I had to do for couples. And then for tomorrow, I've got a couple of things planned. First of all, gonna get that content done for our client that started in July now, to make sure that we are up to date and we can start prepping for the next batch of content that we need to shoot. And then hopefully also start getting them through the process of setting up WhatsApp Business, making sure that their website is of a standard where we can push leads towards and get a good conversion on them. And then an interesting thing that happened today with Kaap Creative is there was one client we actually had a call with last week before I started this series, but she completed our contact form, and then she mentioned what her budget was, and what her actual budget was not that. It was significantly less, and there's nothing wrong with that, but the reality is we took time out of our day to have a discussion with her because we thought we might be a good fit. And at the end, she's mentioned to me that she's going to look at other people as well, which is completely fine, especially if we're out of your budget. And something that she sent over the packages today from the other people that she spoke to, and I have to say majority of them are more design-based content creation agencies where they don't necessarily do a lot of video-based generation, which is interesting to me. Second of all, you have to still be quite involved in that process, whereas we try to take a client and only be working with them 6 hours a month, which means 3 to 4 hours of shooting, maybe 1 hour meeting, and then maybe 1 hour of just general communication throughout the month, which is very important. And I think that's something that I try to tell her in the response to the email, is that she should just be quite aware that she's going to still have to be quite hands-on in the process of creating, thinking, conceptualizing the content and all of those things. So it's not necessarily going to free up her time to focus solely on growing the business, which is the thing that we try to do with our pricing, making sure that we are giving you the opportunity to only be focusing on what you enjoy, and that's your actual business that you want to be doing every day. taking out the hassle of worrying about social media, giving it to someone, making sure that that person is giving you opportunities that you can work on within your business. So that was interesting compared to that's what's interesting comparing our offering to other people out there. The pricing side of things, it's very similar. I wouldn't say we're 10 to 20% more expensive, which isn't a lot. And then, yeah, for this week, I'm excited. I've completed all of the workshop 17 workspace documentation that I needed to get going on, and so I'm looking to maybe start with that middle of this week. And then for the rest of this week, we're planning on doing a podcast. I'm thinking about still how we're going to structure it, but I maybe want to start off by explaining the process, how we approach content, how we differ from other companies, and then we can use that content just as filler content on Kaap Creative as well. And then this rest of this week, probably planning to do some content for Jacques Brits Film specifically, and then also for Reset and Bow Celebrations, as I want to start doing ads for those companies as well. Just because, if I'm being completely honest, is I'm seeing the value that ads bring to the table when it comes to converting leads into sales. And I think if I just give a little bit of attention to that, it will definitely snowball into something much bigger. Then lastly, gonna work with my Joburg-based videographer just to iron out a couple of wrinkles. He's very good at what he's doing. The content, everything is coming out with really great. And yeah, so that's everything that's currently happening at Kaap Creative. I really want to see if we can maybe sign up another client within the next week or two. I'm going to be exploring some alternative options on how we can probably do that. If you have any ideas, please don't hesitate to mention it down in the comment section below. If there's any content that you think might work well with building relationship with followers to try to convert them into leads, would love to hear it. And then yeah, I know the series isn't very polished at the moment, but the more I'm doing this, the more comfortable I'm getting on camera, and the more I feel the need to do everything with precision and confidence and structure every single day, because I want to grow this business definitely to $10,000 a month. And I know it won't happen in a month, but if you take a small step every single day, you are working towards a greater goal. And this is the core process that I want to document. I want to bring you guys into the process, show you what I'm busy with, and really add value to you watching, and hopefully inspire you to also start doing what you want to do. If it's either building a house or whatever, just go out and do it. And yeah, very exciting times, if I'm being completely honest, because I mean, if we're actually giving clients opportunities from the content that we're doing, just not just awareness, it's incredible. That's all I can say, because the reality is it means that you're giving other people opportunities to grow their businesses, especially on the digital sphere. And now is the best time than ever to do it, because the conversion is great. People are actually engaging in it, because it's the frontier now of media and not social media, because everyone that uses social media are using it for the media purpose and not the social purpose anymore. There are a very select few, but I have to be quite honest, I think they're in a minority at this stage, whereas more people are ditching the TV and just doing it on their phone. And that should never be underestimated, because also something that I found out this week was that one of the clients actually got a very, very interesting lead just from them being on a social platform that they are actually like getting no views, but someone searched on that social platform for within their industry, and they came up and they saw that they were the most active in that field, and from there they got a very substantial lead that's going to maybe pan out into being a much bigger part of their business. And that shows you the power of what this social media content creation and social media management side of things is. is that the opportunities can be endless, especially if people are using it more and more as a search engine, like a Google, for example. Or, for example, where you're building brand awareness and also building a community that you can leverage into. These are factors that we are taking into consideration with what content we're posting and how we structure your business on the social landscape going forward. So, yeah, tomorrow I'm excited to see what we can do with the content for the client that's starting in July. Hopefully tomorrow we'll also get the feedback from the client with their questionnaire for the 1st of August they are starting. And then also for tomorrow we'll be focusing on building up all of the content for Jacques Brits Films and Reset and Bow Celebrations to hopefully start running some ads there to get some relevant leads. And today we moved one step closer to that $10,000 mark, and we're going to start posting that new client today. I'll share it on the YouTube channel, and then the more you focus on doing good work, the great opportunities will find you. So never stop learning, and I'll see you tomorrow.